Hi everyone. It is March 28th, about 6 o'clock p.m. here on the East Coast. I hope wherever you are having a fabulous evening, start to the evening, and had a great day. I wanted to thank everyone who is out there who has supported my release of my second book, Strip It All and Be Naked. And I've had such a tremendous response from the release of the book, since the release of the book, which was about 2 weeks ago. And I've had people comment and compliment and encourage and all positive things that anybody could only hope to hear from something they've created. So I wanted to say to all the people that have taken the time to give me a thumbs up on Facebook or taken the time to read a little bit of the book, whether they've purchased it or not, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it is your encouragement that keeps me motivated on challenging days and every day, really, because I'm pretty much working on this by myself. I have one other person that is a touchstone and someone who is guiding me along the way. But when I'm home and there's work to do and an article to be written or comments to catch up on or more marketing to do, and you're working alone, I close my eyes and I think of all the people out there that have sent me something. And I think, you know what? I have a lot of coworkers, so to speak, co-inspirers. So I want to thank you for that so much. It's very, very inspiring for me that I create something that touches someone enough that they respond back. And that's what my mission was in creating this book and in everything I create from What's Your Wheelchair. And I also want to say a note to anyone who's out there that is not living the life that they wish to live, whether it's relationship, whether it's health, whether it's finances, whatever it is, you have the power to do something about it. It doesn't matter if you don't have aren't flush with finances or have a lot of weight to lose or are in a relationship that you feel needs improvement or stuff. I always use those three because they're the three big ones really in life. It seems pretty much for people: relationships, finances, and health. Those are the three big issues that we all deal with, and they're three very important issues, and they're the issues that we can excel at, and they're the issues that we hit bumps in. And I started What's Your Wheelchair Incorporated a year and a half ago, and I'll keep this brief, but I started it for two reasons. Well, a lot of reasons, but the main two were, number one, I needed an income in my home, and I wanted a job. I wanted to work. I didn't want to, I've worked my whole life and or as long as I can remember, and I wanted a job. And I had been looking for one and didn't have success. So I walked into an organization that helps people start small businesses, and I went from there. And I went in knowing nothing, not even sure what I wanted to do, what kind of business I wanted. I knew I wanted to have it along the lines of writing and creating in that arena, but not sure really of anything except that I wanted a job, number one, and or wanted to create my own business, I should say, correction. And number two is I have felt in my heart my whole life that even before I was injured, that I would have something, and before I was injured, and even after I was injured, it took a while to realize that this is what it is. It's my injury. It's what I've experienced through my injury, the lessons that I have learned that I want to share with people because I believe in my heart, my whole heart, that I was meant to do that and that it can help people. For some reason in life, we sometimes go through a lot of suffering to get to the lesson that we need to take the next step in making our life better. And I have done a bit of suffering, facing the challenges of living a life with a spinal cord injury. And if I can save people from that suffering, from sharing my experiences and sharing what I've learned and get to know people and get people to know me through my writing and through other things I create, they will trust me and take the lessons I have learned and apply them to their own life without having to go through all the suffering. And that is really what my main mission is, my true mission when I started What's Your Wheelchair. And I used that phrase, that name, I chose that name because I wanted it to be and stay a universal message. Regardless of what I created, regardless of what I did, I wanted to make sure that people didn't see me because I had an injury and used a wheelchair that you can see. I'm sitting in it right now as I talk to you. I didn't want to be put in another category. Well, she's in a wheelchair. She's, the only reason she can know what she knows or experienced what she experienced in life is because she's in a wheelchair and she had to go through different experiences to learn what she's learned. That's not true. Anybody can grow and excel and change whatever they want to change. And everybody has wheelchairs that they need to change in their life. I haven't met one person that doesn't have an issue, and it doesn't have to be a life or death situation. Either people have big things they want to change, or they just want to keep improving their life circumstances, which is fantastic. So I just want to put that out there that wherever you are, you can change, you can make a change, and you can start right now because you have everything you need. You have your personal power within you, and you have choices that you can make. You have free will. And I know sometimes we all feel like we are stuck between a rock and a rock. And I have yet to be between a rock and a rock and not see a glimmer of a choice, a possibility, something to get a little wiggle room to get myself out of that rock and rock, because it's a terrible place to feel in life, regardless of where you are or what that applies to, what circumstance that feeling applies to. So a year and a half ago, when I started What's Your Wheelchair, it doesn't seem like I've accomplished much. But when I look back and if someone would have told me a year and a half ago, well, by this time 18 months later, you would have written 2 books, and you'd have a growing following on your blog writing, and you would have created a personal development personal development course, that includes a live webinar. And all the things that I've accomplished thus far, I would have looked at them like they're crazy because I didn't know how to do any of that. And you know what? I learned. And because of my financial circumstances, when I started What's Your Wheelchair, I didn't have literally a penny to put into starting a business. So I had to do things a little bit differently. And then I had to do things differently to get started. And then I found I could if I made a little bit of sacrifice in this area of my life, when I say sacrifice, I mean financially. And it wasn't a sacrifice, that's a poor choice of a word. And it was a choice. Okay, if I don't do this, I'll have a little bit of money to put into this. And the second this was marketing of What's Your Wheelchair. And I started with pennies, and I had to create what would normally be bought, which is marketing, getting yourself out there. I had to do a lot of work creating things and doing things that would get me out there slowly but steadily. And that's the way you just have to go if you don't have a big checkbook. And a year and a half later, after working on this project or this company, slowly but steadily, the doors are starting to creak open. And when I say the doors, I mean the doors that are going to get me to the next level of where I want my business and my life to go. And I've worked very hard. I've had times of doubt, but the harder I work and the more I put myself out there, I am starting to see the benefit and I don't know the right word to use exactly, but the benefit, I guess, and the fruits of my labor are starting to pay off. And again, it's slow, but I see it. And again, there were times when I had doubts, and you have to lift yourself up, or you think of the people that you know are out there that, you know what, when I write something, someone's going to give me a thumbs up. Or when I share a video, someone's going to give me a thumbs up and say, hey, we liked what you had to offer, or we thought that was interesting, or maybe they only read the title, and that's fine. And we thought the title was something that sounded interesting, or maybe they're just supporting me because they want to give a thumbs up to someone that they know, or perhaps I'm an individual that they don't know, but they've learned enough about me that they know that I'm trying to, I know this sounds corny, but trying to make the world a little bit of a better place, and trying to reach the masses. And that's my whole goal with this business, is to reach the masses with a message of life can get better. And if we start with ourselves, we can start with go beyond our own backyard, but it's important to start with ourselves. So I wanted just to put that message out there, remind people that you can change anything. You have the personal power to do so. It takes confidence, and your confidence will grow with each step you take towards your dream. So again, thank you so much to all of you that supported me, and I'll continue to keep writing and keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll see you on the flip side. So have a great evening.